Welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? We all do. It's been programmed right into us. But what if we flip the whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our finances, our relationships, and of course, in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me in everything is my life partner, Minna.
So remember last week we have Samantha with us,
Yes.
and we talked about relationships and how she does relationship coaching, but she can actually do like one person instead of the couples where when you see on a TV show, you always see two people dealing with one psychiatrist.
Yeah,
right?
like couples counseling
Right.
usually.
So she does it differently, but basically the how she does it has to do a lot with dealing with negative thought process.
Yes.
So incidentally, I came up with a blog this week from Eric Barker on how to deal with negative thoughts. So I thought we may talk about that today.
That's great. I think negative thoughts is something that happens to all of us without thinking about it, right? And, when it comes into negative thoughts, how can that really affect us?
So we all have different types of negative thoughts, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes some of them makes us angry, some of them makes us sad or feeling inferior. Sometimes it makes us feel like an imposter. Always get this imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
We're not as good as we seem to be. Sometimes you have embarrassing memories that you can get over.
Correct.
The fears and anxieties, the guilt, the regret, the victimization. So we have a lot of these impulsive thoughts that when you have these thoughts, they kind of lead to bad decisions.
Okay. I get that. So, like, a lot of times it's like it's sort of ingrained in you, and it leads into bad habits and bad traits that you might be carrying on that you think is your thoughts. In fact, it might be something that you carried over.
Right. But when we have these thoughts, usually the advice we get is like, don't think about it, right?
That's true.
It's kind of like throwing oil onto fire.
Correct.
Telling someone else on fire to stop being so flammable. That's just not how it's going to work.
Exactly. And the more you tell me to not think about something, the more I'm going to think about it, right?
For sure. It's like the blue elephant.
Yes.
So now you think of blue elephant. So how you deal with negative thoughts will help you a lot to get along, get through the day better and happier. Right. So the first thing to remember is just because it's in your head, it's a thought, it doesn't mean it's true.
And when it comes down to that, that's quite important, right? Because your mind can distinguish the difference between a good thought or a negative thought, right?
Yeah, you have these odd thoughts that. So the blog by this author, he calls them emotional badaos.
Emotional badaos, okay, I like that.
So it's a call, but it's just a badao. It doesn't mean anything. It just pops into your mind, and they should just go away eventually.
Correct. So when it comes down to these thoughts and stuff like that, does the content of the thought matter?
Not really. So you remember how we talked about success principle number one, E plus R equals O.
Mhm.
So your event plus your response equals the outcome, right?
Correct.
So if you change your response, your outcome changes.
Mhm.
It's the same here with your thoughts.
Okay.
So if your response to your thought is different, your outcome is different.
So just because you may be having a negative thought, you can do what we're doing, is flipping it on its head.
Yep.
And figure out a positive outcome of that
Basically,
negative thought, right?
So it's your relationship and your response that makes a difference, right? So there's a term called cognitive fusion. Is when you take random thoughts too seriously, right? So basically you love these thoughts so much that you can't tell how it got there. You just believed it and you carried it with you like a monkey.
Wow. So basically, these are the ones you probably live your life by because these are the thoughts that sort of ingrained with you and so your monkey thoughts, right?
Basically, yeah. So how they say what you resist tend to persist. The blue elephant, if you if I tell you to stop thinking about the blue elephant, that's all you're going to think about.
Correct. I'm seeing a blue elephant dancing in the room right now.
So don't think about that. That doesn't really work.
Correct.
But there are 5 steps that the author is telling the readers that this would work. So let's start with step 1.
So step 1 is labeling the thought, right? So what does that actually mean when you're labeling the thought?
So it comes down to awareness, knowing that you have this thought and knowing that you call this a random memory or a random thought. So you label this thought as something that may not be real. It's just something that pops into your mind like a batao.
Mhm.
That would help.
So basically putting a label, putting it into a shoebox, and filing it away somewhere there.
You can label it,
Yeah.
and then it's also how you phrase it, right? Rather than saying, I am sad.
Okay.
You can say, I am feeling sadness.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that it's true. Doesn't mean that you're actually sad. It just, it feels like I might be sad, but it may not be true. It's just a thought.
Now then you can sort of dive a little deeper into the emotion. Are you sad because you're thinking you're sad, or are you just feeling sad at that particular time?
Right. So once you label it, you can move on to step 2.
Okay.
Which is letting go.
Letting go.
Don't struggle with it, right? Don't just accept that blue elephant, right? Now that it's there, you saw the elephant that is blue, which is weird. So you accepted it, and doesn't mean that you have to believe that the elephant. It just means that you're allowing them the thought to be there. So don't fight it, right? And I hear that a lot with a lot of the meditation apps.
Correct.
They're always telling just accept it, don't push it away, don't push out your thoughts. So I think that's something that takes practice, but it does make sense.
Yeah, and the next step, and this is a lot in the meditation apps, is diffusing the thought, right? You're letting it go, but how do you diffuse it?
So what we talked about cognitive fusions. When you think the thoughts are you, right? It defines you. Diffusion is when we separate them.
Okay.
And realize they're just mental static, so they can be ignored. So when the thought, I'm going to fail, pops up, you can restate it as, I have this thought that I'm going to fail. So saying that, it just means I have a thought, and this framing can work wonders in that it's going to turn the situation around. And your thought is going to just say, I'm going to go because it's just a thought.
Great. It's actually quite that simple. So you don't actually even have to reframe the thought in a positive aspect.
For sure. And of course, step 4 is be mindful.
Okay.
And turn your attention back to the world. If you keep thinking about the blue elephant and you just keep on dwelling about it, now you have this blue elephant that has big ears and a big trunk that's blue and it looks like Dumbo and start flying. That's not going to help.
Correct.
Right? But you start turning your attention back to the world. Something that's happening out there. We had a thunderstorm yesterday. You can look at the wonderful thunderstorm or something outside. That would help.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like a lot of people will say, wow, thunderstorm, it's so bad. But then, you starting off a negative, and today it's like, well, it's a little later now, but it was a beautiful day today, right?
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, so, definitely paying more attention to your world can really open up and diffuse some of those negative thoughts.
For sure. And if you don't have anything in the world to look at, focus on your body, on your physical state.
So, when you're focusing on your body, on your physical state, a lot of people may be focusing on workouts or something. Now you're not focusing on those negative thoughts. I love that.
Yeah. You can just, I guess you can just go work out. But I love doing the body scan.
Oh, the meditation? Yes.
How can you talk about how it's done?
Yeah, so basically you're just cycling through your body and being really aware in how that parts of your body feel, and usually start from your toes, going up your leg, through your torso, through your hands, and you get really hypersensitive of areas that aren't feeling well, but in the process you're letting it go, right? And you get more relaxed as you're doing that. And it definitely does make you stop thinking about everything else because you're concentrating so much on yourself, on your body, how you're feeling.
Right. So the goal is to get you focused on something else and focusing on your body, on which part that is not feeling maybe perfect. That's actually a great way for you to be aware of your how healthy you are. And of course, you can also do breathing, counting the breaths, like the in the box breathing and things like that. That also takes your mind away. So meditation is actually all about being mindful. It's not about not thinking about anything. It's actually just focus on something that benefits you.
I love that. I love that. The meditation part is definitely very useful to be mindful when it comes to negative thoughts. And once you have that negative thought, just think, breathe. That's what I think. I just cover that negative thought with breathe, and it just sort of floats away.
Yeah. So the what we talk about, it takes some practice, and we have one more step, but we will talk about that after our guest interview.
We'll see you soon, right after this little commercial.
Welcome to Chronically Healthy Life. In our biohacking segment this week, I thought I would share with you what I do with my eyes. And so, if you're like me, I spend a good part of my day in front of my computer or on my phone or my tablet, some type of screen or TV, some type of screen that kind of makes my eyes get tired sometimes. So, I have a herbal eye compress that you can use it few times a day, and it will help you release that the tiredness from your eyes. Is just a little less strained. So it's very easy to make. All you need is 3 different types of dry flowers and hot water. So to make the herbal eye compress, what I have here is these are chamomile flowers. I got these at supermarket, and you can probably buy them on Amazon or a supermarket. I have about 2 tablespoons of these. So just put them into a glass bowl. And these are dry lavender flowers. I have about 2 teaspoons of these. And there you go, put them into the bowl. And the last one, these are calendula flowers. These ones are from Egypt, and I ordered them online. You can find them on Amazon or herbal stores. And I have about 2 tablespoons of these also. So all you have to do is put them all in, mix them up a little bit, and put in 2 cups of boiling water. So it's basically how you make herbal tea anyways. So let that sit, cover it up, and let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. And then I'm going to come back in about 10-15 minutes and finish it off. All right, so 10-15 minutes has passed. So let's take a look at this. There you go. So water's still warm. What you have to do is strain it. Okay. And soak your washcloth into it. And fold it up and compress your eyes with it. And fold it up like this and just compress your eyes just like that, and do that for about 10-15 minutes and meditate while you do it. That will help, and I'm sure your eyes will feel a lot better after that. And the water, you can probably use it a few more times. Just make sure you warm it up and then soak it back into a washcloth again. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the herbal eye compress, and I'll see you back here again next week.
All right, strap in, folks. We're about to take a joyride through the fountain of youth. It's Annie Nam from Chronically Healthy Life. Ever wonder why some folks seem to age like fine wine, while others are more like a molded cheese that's been forgotten in the back of the fridge? It's like they got the energy of a Duracell bunny on Red Bull, while the rest of us are running on fumes. Now, you might think hitting the gym and munching on kale is the ticket to eternal youth, but sometimes it feels more like we're just speeding up the aging process. Picture this: you're on the treadmill, feeling like $1,000,000, And suddenly, you look down and realize your knees sound like a bag of popcorn in the microwave. Not exactly the sound of youth, am I right? But fear not, my friends, because here's the kicker. It's not just about the number of candles on your birthday cake. It's all about those sneaky little stem cells playing hide and seek inside your body. At the age of 20, you got more of these bad boys than you can shake a stick at. But fast forward a few decades, and they're scarce as a parking spot in downtown Manhattan. But guess what? We got a secret weapon up our sleeves. Phototherapy patch technology without drugs. That's right, folks. With our stem cell activation patches, you can hit the rewind button on aging faster than you can say reverse aging. So if you're ready to reclaim your youth, look younger, feel stronger, and heal faster than a superhero with a side of espresso, then it's time to hop on board the rejuvenation train. Schedule your free consultation now at calendly.com/thefoolishcouple/stem cells. And let's make aging look like yesterday's news. It's not anti-aging, it's reverse aging, baby. Hi, welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. So we seem to be having some technical difficulties with our guest speaker. So our producer's trying to take care of that. Meanwhile, show must go on. It's a live show, right? So Minna, what would you like to share with our viewers until maybe we can get our special guest back in?
Well, I figure, we call ourselves the foolish couple, and we told viewers why last time. So why don't we talk about what we do on a daily basis that is different from most people?
Well, why don't we start with how we get up in the morning?
I mean, I roll out of the bed, but okay. How do you get up in the morning?
Well, what's our morning routines?
Well, okay, so we get up and I feed my cats because Wolfie would cry. Meow. So once you get that out of the way, then we go with coffee. But our coffee is a little different, right?
Great. Yeah. We go with straight black coffee and we add some, how would you say the best way to do it? Like MCT oil, some coconut oil. Sometimes people can use grass-fed better, right? So that's some of the things that we do. So we use healthy fat going into our coffee rather than most people using creamers.
Right. So, let's switch out a little bit and, how we talk about negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
We met our guests under not very pleasant circumstances.
Correct. Yes.
So
yes.
You had a lot of negative thoughts during those times.
Yes. I was in negative thought overload. I was.
And you were in a different country.
Able to get that all out, and we learn from it, right? We learn from it, But one of the things is we were able to bring in and meet a lot of good friends, like our friend here, Nancy Alert.
There she is. Hey, Nancy.
Okay, Nancy, you are muted because we cannot hear you.
Why can't you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now. Oh, we just lost video.
My mic is on.
No, we can hear you now. We're good.
Oh, okay. Hi. Hello.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. So Nancy's our special guest. I'm glad we got her on the show today. So Nancy Alert, she's a multifamily expert and a realtor since 1997, I believe.
Six?
And this, pardon?
Since you were 5 years old.
Since you're 5 years old.
Exactly.
Right, and she's she's led a very successful real estate practice in the Washington D.C. area with licenses in Washington D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And Nancy is an educator in the real estate industry where she coaches people on how to create wealth and passive income with multi-units. She's a #1 international bestseller of Journeys to Success, Sales Profession Edition, and Hold My Crown. She was nominated into the RE/MAX Hall of Fame for earning over $1 million in 2 years. That's a great achievement. Highlighted in Who's Who in Black Washington, D.C., and featured as a technology innovator in Black Enterprise magazine. And what else is she committed to?
So Nancy is also a committed and socially conscious entrepreneur, just the type we love, who lends expertise and unconventional approach to business and women's organization in her role as a speaker and a teacher. Nancy dedicates appreciable time to her community with the attention to build, inspire, and empower other women. Giving back has always been in style for Nancy, and she hopes to make a positive difference for those around her daily.
So that was a long introduction,
That
but you
was
have so
yes.
many hours.
That was that
So
was.
Nancy, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling good actually. I'm feeling really good, and I'm feeling really happy to be here with you guys.
That is so awesome. So, our show's called Chronically Healthy Life, and in our acronym for life, I stands for independence. And we're hoping today you can shed a little light into financial independence for our viewers.
I'm sure I will be able to shed some light. It is an important subject, so I'm glad we'll be able to talk about that today.
Great. And the way you help people with financial independence is through real estate investing. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I help through real estate investing and through life insurance products. And let me tell you a little bit. So what I say is I'm Nancy Alert, and I'm known as the multifamily unit expert because I've lost millions in the real estate industry, so you don't have to. As an expert, I've been featured in Black Enterprise Magazine. I've been seen on HGTV, BET, and American Dream TV. And what I do now is, and why I'm here is I coach people in how to create passive income and generational wealth by buying multifamily units and leveraging life insurance products. And what does that look like? Well, most people think it is difficult, it is expensive, it's unattainable to buy a multifamily unit, and it is not. So that's why I'm here to tell you it is not. It is not difficult, and as a matter of fact, it is easier to purchase a 4 unit building than it is to buy a single family house or a condo.
So Nancy, how did you get started in this?
Because I lost millions in the real estate industry.
Nobody wants to do that. So let's tell people how not to do that.
So that's why exactly. So everyone knows what happened in 2008. The real estate market jumped off the cliff and it dragged me with it. And back then I was out doing what I'm doing. I'm investing in real estate. I'm selling real estate, making a lot of money, living my life, traveling the world, doing what we do on a daily. And then unbeknownst to all of us, the real estate market just went from up here straight down. There was no, oh, let's do a little step down. It was up and down. It just went down, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. Some people was never able to bounce back. Some people take another route out of the game, and unlive themselves. But for me, it took me 3 years because for 3 years I was truly, truly paralyzed because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm out here doing what I was told to do. Work hard, make the money, save the money, invest the money, because you can never save money to get wealthy. You have to invest to get wealthy, right? So I'm doing all of this, and now everything is gone. So I didn't know what decisions to make because I thought, well, girl, you don't know what decisions to make. Look where you at right now. You're broke. You have no money. You have no money. So why should I listen? This is the self-talk I'm having. Why should I listen to you? You don't know anything about real estate. You look where you're at, girl. You're broke. And so for 3 years, I literally didn't do anything. And thank goodness that I did save the money. So I was able to live off of the money I saved. But for 3 years, I'm living off the money I'm saving. No money's coming in. Eventually, it's all going to be gone. And then the real estate is gone. I lost 3 properties, and that was, I lost 8 properties, and that was $5 million.
Wow.
$5 million.
I heard.
I'm like, what? So I'm just going along being, negative Nancy right now. And that usually me. I'm a positive. I'm a let's do it. Stop talking about it. Let's just do it. I'm like jump in first and let's figure it out, right? Couldn't do that for 3 years. But then a friend of mine said to me, because one of my taglines was getting it done. And she said to me, "You're Nancy Alert. Do you know who you are? You're Nancy Alert. You did this before. You're going to do it again. Go get it done." And, before I came on, you guys were talking about negative thoughts, right?
Yes.
And so that was all that was going, the negative movies, I called it, not even thoughts.
Sure.
They were movies. Negative movies was going on in my head back and forth. And when you have that coming at you 24/7 a day, that's where you're going to stay. That's where you're in that same negative pace. But once I realized that I'd have to change this, I had to change my mindset, right? And then I had to evaluate my experience, because as I tell people, experience is not the best teacher, but evaluated experience, that's what's the best teacher. So I evaluated my experience, changed my mindset because I had to. Negative. And once I did that, and I read all the books, listened to all the podcasts, watched the news, and then I was like, light bulb. If I had a 4-unit building while the market was just jumping off cliffs and acting crazy, I would not have lost my asset. And I know people say, well, Nancy, whether you have a 4-unit building or 8 condos, the people, if they stop making payments, they stop making payments. But here's the thing. One of those condos I bought was in Chicago. It was on the Magnificent Mile. It was sexy. It was beautiful. It was on the 38th floor. The views was like, yes. It was a 1-bedroom for $440,000. And the parking was $40,000. So $480,000 condo, right? 1-bedroom condo in Chicago. And at that time, which is so crazy, I sold my client a 4-unit building in DC, right by the stadium in Northeast, for $280,000. He still owns it. Of course, it's paid for, and people are sending him notes every day. He talked to me last week. He said, "Nancy, I just got another letter. Do you want to sell?" $900,000. Okay, that's what it's worth right now. He bought it for $280,000. The same time I bought a 1-bedroom sexy condo for $480,000 and lost it. He still has his asset. And here's why. Because you have 4 units. And even if 2 people stop paying the mortgage, you still have 2 people. 2 people stop paying the rent, you still have 2 people that's paying the mortgage. You might not be making any money, but guess what you're not going to do is lose the asset. You will still keep the asset, and the asset is still appreciating, because Lord knows it has appreciated to $900,000. And he's not selling that. He's going to leave that to his children. And so that's when the light bulb came on, and that's when my focus in 2013 is when I decided my focus was in showing people how to buy multifamily units and create passive incomes and generational wealth, because you're going to be able to pass it on. You're not going to lose your asset if you buy it right. Okay, you buy it right. You didn't buy it all where there's no equity and you just want to buy a building. You buy it where there's equity, where it's cash flowing. And once it's cash flowing, it's like having a machine to print money, because not only are you making money on the cash flow, the rents, banks are ready to throw money at you because you have a cash flowing property. You have a property that's bringing money in. So they're ready to lend you money. Unlike if you only own a house that you live in. No, you have it. It has whatever equity it has, but it's not bringing any money in, right? So the bank knows if you default, we got something that's bringing money in. We're good. We'll just take it. So that's another way. So buying a multi-family unit whether it's 4 unit, 8 unit, 32 units, is the best thing for you to do for your life, your finances, and to set up your family for future generations to be able to have that wealth so that they can continue and pass it on. And here's how you do this. This is one hack that I have. I call it buy, rent, live, die, because we all gonna die, and then pass it on, right? And so you buy the 4 unit building, right? You buy it and you're renting it and you're getting your cash, you're living your life, you're going on. And when you get to retirement, you take all of the asset out of that building and live your best life. You deserve it, just have a wonderful time, because when you take all the asset out of that building, it is not a taxable event. You don't pay taxes on that money. You take it all out. Does it have $300,000 in equity? Take it out. Live your life. Travel the world. You retired. You work hard for how many ever years? It's your turn to enjoy. So you enjoy it. And then you die. And of course, you're going to pass this on to your You are, because nobody's making it out alive. We all going to, that's the little humor in there. And so when you die and you pass it on to your beneficiary, the hack was, when I sold you that 4 unit building way back, I told you to get mortgage protection. You bought it for $500,000. We got mortgage protection for $500,000. It's a life insurance policy on your house. So when you die, you leave the house to your beneficiary, and the insurance company sends your beneficiary a check for $500,000. Now they have options. They can pay that 4 unit off, which I say no, because if it's cash flowing, leave it alone. Take the $500,000, go buy another building, and do it all over and over and over, rinse and repeat. And that's how you create, because you're leaving it for the next generation. I have this. I never have to think about a place to live, because my Aunt Nancy, way back in 2023 or whatever, she bought this building and left it for us. And we got this money. We bought another building. So now we got 5 buildings in this family. So we never have to think ever about not having a place to live or not getting a check coming in so you can take care of you. And this is what every single American citizen, or those that live abroad, you come on over, I'll show you how to do it. Buy it. And one thing I wanted to say, people think it's so hard, it's so expensive to buy a building. Well, you start with a 4 unit. If you don't own any property right now, I can show you how you can buy a 4 unit anywhere in the United States, 0 money down, no matter what your credit score is. Then I can show you how to buy a property with 3.5% down using FHA financing. Or if you can't use FHA, you can use conventional financing. New rule as of November 18, 2023. Instead of paying 25% down, 5% is all you need to put down now, 5%. So if FHA, because you already have an FHA loan, you can't use that, use conventional. 5% is all you need to put down. You buy a multifamily unit and you start that road of building wealth.
So let me ask you a quick question there, because you mentioned, even you as a real estate expert, you are buying separate properties, and now you got the aha moment with the multi-unit properties. You mentioned that it has to be done right, because I imagine comparing apples to apples, like you're comparing Washington, D.C. 4 unit to Chicago condo, probably in a nice part downtown. What if you're in the same city for a 4 unit to a single unit? Is it harder to get the financing to get that started? Because you're saying that it makes so much more sense for a multifamily unit as opposed to buying a single unit for investment, right?
Okay, so I'm going to answer the realtor question first. So the truth is, and this was 2006 or 7 was when I bought that condo in Chicago. And to be honest with you, I was terrified. I was afraid because I didn't have the information about multi-units. I was like the rest of the world. I was like, oh, that's too big. That's too, oh, I can't do that. Let me buy this little condo, you know? And I was thinking, and even though I helped my client Adele buy that property, I wasn't even thinking, you can do this, Nancy, you could do this. But instead I went all the way to Chicago and bought the property sight unseen. And it's because you don't have the information. So realtors, I will tell you this, you have to make sure you do your due diligence, because most realtors are fill in the blank contract realtors to help you find your forever loving home. They cannot help you buy an investment property or a 4-unit because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the information. It's a different look when you're buying as an investor, when you're buying a 4-unit versus when you're buying a condo. You're looking for different things, right? You're looking for, well, is this investment good? Is this 4-unit located close to hospitals, close to this, close to that, because you know that it's going to rent? Is it in an area that's going to appreciate in the rent, so I could retire in 3 years and just live my life because the money is coming in? It's a total different look and appreciation and the way the realtor works. So just any old realtor is not going to be able to help you. You got to find an investor-friendly realtor that understands the difference between the numbers and the, oh, I'm going to die if I don't get this house to live, you know, to raise my family. And it's the best house ever, and I'm never going to find another one like this. I have to get it. It's a different calculation between those, right? And you don't have to buy a multifamily unit where you live. Most often than not, you might be priced out of the area where you live. Let's say if you're in California or New York or even DC, right? Yeah. You might be priced out of you might be able to find a 4-unit, but are you going to make any money because the price is so high to get it? And the rents might not be catching up right now. It might appreciate in the future, but right now it's not. And then you have to decide then, what kind of investor are you? Are you the investor that want your money now in rents? Are you the one that knows that it's going to appreciate and you're willing to wait for the appreciation? Or you want a little money now and a lot of money later? You have to decide what type of investor you are, and then I'll find you that property. I help people buy properties in Texas because it's less expensive than buying it in Washington, D.C. You know, so you don't have to buy the multi-family unit where you live. And that's how you'll be able to afford it, because you go around the country where, like in, someone just brought me a 4-unit for $480, I think it was $489 on Wednesday. It's in Gillene, Texas, which is close to Army, a military base. Mm-hmm. By the time he told me about it, and I told my client about it, and my client said, yeah, I'm interested. I called him back, sent me the OM, it's gone. Correct. It's gone. Because at $489 or 85 or whatever it was, 4 units by an Army base, you making money. You are going to be renting it out consistently and you're making money. So just look for the areas where the market is appreciating. There's a lot going on with infrastructure. Companies are moving in and all of that. And that's where you go and you invest your money. Yeah.
So Nancy, let's take it up back a little bit. We talk about real estate investments, right? So let's assume there's a person that has a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at investment world nowadays, there's gold, there's stocks, there's Bitcoin, real estate for sure, and then there's all the other stuff that you can invest on, right? How would someone with like a chunk of money decide on whether they should do real estate or something else? What's your thoughts on that?
So, and luckily you're talking to me, because I'm different from most realtors. Most realtors going to say, stay in the real estate, because that's what they know, that's what they do. But because I am a real estate broker, but I am a businesswoman first, right? And because I'm a businesswoman, I see and I read and I learn, and I'm investing in everything. So I've invested in Bitcoin. I have right now, I have Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything else was gone. I got rid of all the Dogecoin and the dog coins and all them. The only two I have is Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Correct.
And here's what I say on that. Because I don't want to be left out. I don't want to have FOMO because I had the opportunity to buy Bitcoin when it was 5 cents a coin, and I smacked myself in the face because I didn't do it. You know when
Exactly.
I bought it? I bought it when it was $45,000 a Bitcoin. That's when I bought it. So, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put this much money in here that I'm not gonna miss, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna touch it. Bitcoin and Ethereum. You go up, you come down, you go up. I leave it alone. Right? So you're covered there.
Yes.
The stock market. Now, many people became billionaires from in the stock market. Now, if you have the stomach to be doing it yourself, I do it myself. I do. And made a lot during COVID because everybody was inside. Yeah, buying and selling, buying and selling. I did very well. I mean, it was like, yes. And then the reality came in, you back to work. You don't have time to do that, right?
Yes.
So if you're not going to be day trading where you're invested in it, then you pick some of the good ones. And you know the ones like had you bought Apple when it was a core and not an apple, right? Had, had you bought Amazon when it was only selling books, you wouldn't even be talking to me right now. You just retired traveling the world, right? You made all that money. Right now, and don't send me no hate mails, people. Right now, you don't have to do it. I'm just giving you information that I have that I work on. AI is coming to rule the world. And if you don't have access and you didn't buy any stocks that have to do with AI, it's not too late. It's not too late. Don't go to NVIDIA. It's done. Leave it NVIDIA alone. NVIDIA, you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. I bought it when it was $250, and I was saying you shouldn't. But I did. But it's $900 now. Right? So all I'm saying is don't bother with NVIDIA. But here's where you should look at. There's a lot of the health industry is utilizing a lot of AI. So go to the health industry, see, research which company is utilizing all the AI. So and invest in that health company. You'll be part of the AI too. I'm just saying. And that EV, the electrical, what is it, vehicle?
Yeah.
You know, right now they're coming up with laws and to get rid of gas vehicles. So you know it's gonna be electrical. Get some stocks. In EV. Here, listen to me. You don't want to be like me and say, "Shoot, I should have gotten more stocks in the video. You should have." But you don't want to be hindsight. I should have bought Amazon. Well, you should have, could have, whatever. That's gone. But you are in a place right now where you can invest in AI. Just look in some of the medical industry and figure out EV and marijuana. Joe, I don't participate. If I did, I would say it because it's legal. I don't participate, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I got some marijuana stocks because once the feds say this is good, so state by state, right? Right now, it's legal or not. But once the Fed says this is legal, that means you're legal across the board. The companies that are going to be generating procedures and policies and how this to go and how, that's who you want to invest in. Go behind, get some marijuana stocks. I'm just saying. And then bring some to the real estate, buy a 4-unit building. And
I love that, Nancy. You know, it's like financial freedom really is about hitting all the aspects. And I'm so happy that you're able to give us some of your insights, some of your personal experience in all the different sectors. So Nancy, what is the best way for people to get a hold of you if they want to leverage your expertise in multifamily units?
So I am thealertfactor.com. Or you can catch me on IG as THEE Nancy Alert. Thealertfactor.com. Book now and you get a 30 minutes free consultation in how I can help you change your life so you can live the best life. And remember, when you're thinking about life insurance products, it's not about a death benefit. It's about how you can leverage it to live your best life. Forget them people. Don't leave no money for them. They're over there fighting over your money. You use life insurance products so you can live your best life and take care of your children. That's it. Everybody else leave home alone.
That makes sense. Nancy, thank you so much for joining us today. We love you having you here.
We love your energy.
Thank you.
We love all the golden nuggets you shared today. We thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much. You guys, thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend.
Have a fantastic weekend, Nancy.
All right.
All hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy later years with energy, vitality, and good health. But so often with age, our bodies show signs of things just aren't the same as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing recovery time, and sleep all go downhill. If you had physical trauma that happened to your body like I did, this happens much faster. I felt like a 30-year-old trapped in an 80-year-old body. But do you remember as kids, the boundless energy we had, how fast we recovered? This is not because of getting old, but because of active stem cells inside our bodies. These are the cells that can generate and regenerate all the cells and structures in the human body. They are the building blocks of our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an innate repair system everywhere inside the body. But as we get older, stem cell activity slows down, become less effective in repairing damage, and decline. By the age of 20, we only have 1 billion stem cells left. By 30, they decline by 60%. By 50, they decline by 75%. 60 by 90%. And by 80, we're lucky to have 50 million active stem cells. But what if we can naturally stimulate our bodies to reactivate and regenerate new stem cells through phototherapy without drugs? Now we can with our LifeWave X39 stem cell activation patches. Reclaim your youth and look younger, feel stronger, perform better, and heal faster. Get your patches now at lifewave.com/chronically healthy life. It's not anti-aging, it is reverse aging.
Hello, we are Mutts and Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutts and Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutts and Meows Rescue is foster-based and rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.
Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life show. You know, Nancy Alert is always so fun and entertaining to talk to. She's just so full of energy, and she's got so much financial independence information in her. So for those of you, definitely reach out to her for any advice into your multifamily unit or how to leverage insurance. So when you pass away, you're taking care of your family, right? I think that's very important.
For sure. And just to throw out the Houston area pet shelters,
Yes.
The dog shelter is actually getting full. So if you're thinking about adopting a dog,
It's the right time.
This is the right time. It's the best time.
Don't go to a dog pet store and buy a dog that's specially bred. Go to, the shelters. They are getting really full, and adopt a dog. I think it'll be great.
Sure. So let's bring it back to our negative thoughts. So there is a step 5, and step 5 is to act on your values.
So it's like taking action, just like anything else, right?
Yeah. So to do something that's sitting in front of you that is important to you. So once you work on what's important to you, you will forget that blue elephant.
So to sum it up, here's how to deal with your intrusive thoughts. So why won't the thought stop?
Well, it's kind of like the parrot on your shoulder thing, right? You just, you hold on to it, or the monkey on your back. But, you're not your thoughts. You're not defined by your thoughts. So just treat them as badao.
Get some mental distance on it.
For sure. So the 5 steps, of course, one is to label it. Once you label it as it's just a thought, you can move on and, move on to the second step, which is
let it go, let it go, let it go.
let what go.
Don't debate about it, explore or respond to it. It's not a discussion partner that you're debating over. It's a clown in a dark alley offering free hugs. Just don't engage. Just let it go. It's a negative thought, and it has no purpose in your life.
Yeah. So step 3 is to diffuse. So shift from I'm not good, I'm sad. Shift that to I have this thought that I'm not good, or I have this thought that I'm sad. Treat it like it's weird. That everyone has this weird uncle at the family gatherings. That weird person. You just acknowledge that they're here, but don't engage in conversing with your thoughts. It's just trying to diffuse it.
Just get out of that reptile mind, right? That monkey mind. So the next one is being mindful. I think this one is probably the hardest for most people. It's like I'm just going to focus on this lovely little tree while inside my head there's just this pit of dread happening, right? It's very hard to focus on something and you're thinking about something else bad, right?
Sure. And of course, step 5, act on your values. Once you focus on what's important to you, and once you're working towards it, all these weird blue elephants, they're going to leave your brain, and they're going to leave you alone.
For us, one of the things I always tell people is concentrate on the positive, because your mind can't tell the difference between a negative thought and a positive thought. So if you concentrate more on the negative, your power of attraction is going to attract more negative into your life too, right?
Yeah, for sure. So negative thoughts, we all get them, but these 5 steps to get rid of them, it does take practice, and meditation is a way that we practice how we get rid of our negative thoughts. We get them too. So once you start building the habit, these thoughts will move. They will still go in, but it's just go in the brain and come back out the other way faster than you normally do.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Obviously it's very, obvious that she can handle negative thoughts better than me. I just sort of try to concentrate on the positive.
You get a lot of those in there.
Right. Gets me in such a bad place. So I try to filter those out. So join us here every Friday at 7 p.m. CST. You can watch our past episodes at watch.e360tv.com in the Fatality TV network, or on our YouTube channel. What's our YouTube channel?
I don't know.
Well, it's at Chronically Healthy Life.
Well, there you go.
Right. And of course, you can visit us on our website. We got a lot of information on our website at chronicallyhealthylife.com that talks about how we can help you age slower, or even reverse your age, how to help you take care of health problems, or just how to get rid of your negative thoughts.
And of course, if you like the show, you don't like the show, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, comment on our Facebook page, chronicallyhealthylife.com, or in secret, email us at anything@chronicallyhealthylife.com. We'll see you back here next week.
We'll see you next week.
Hi, Laura Cross, your host for Mindful Mondays, every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time, where you can embark on a transformative journey of self-care and ultimate happiness. Tune in to the Voyage to Vitality channel on the Achieve TV network. Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross. Be there, be mindful, and join us on E360 TV.